It is unusual to make the announcement as early as we're doing so now. Well, I think all would acknowledge this race, if anything, it is unusual.
Well, that may be an understatement. Senator Ted Cruz getting a jump on picking a running mate, announcing former rival Carly Fiorina as his choice. Cruz is far behind frontrunner Donald Trump in the delegate count, and the primary season is, of course, winding down. Can Fiorina help push Cruz's campaign to the top? We're joined now by Governor Haley Barbour, former Mississippi governor and former chairman of the Republican National Committee. Governor, always great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Greg.
Do you see this as a smart strategic move in picking Fiorina, or, you know, as Trump claims, an act of desperation? Maybe it's a little of both.
Well, first of all, I think Carly Fiorina's got a lot of candidate skills. She's very bright. She's articulate. But most people don't vote for a presidential candidate because of their running mate. And I think it's unlikely that this is going to make much difference.
Well, Trump has made, of course, and it's conceivably been held against him, derisive remarks about women. It appears to be reflected in the recent polling data that shows 73% of women have an unfavorable opinion of Donald Trump. So he already, Governor, begins with a gender deficit. Does the selection of Fiorina in a Cruz-Fiorina ticket accentuate Trump's gender gap going into Indiana?
Well, I think the problems that Trump has with women, as indicated in the polling, Fiorina's not going to add or subtract to that. That's because of things that Trump has said, impressions that he has left. So I don't really see this making much difference. But you touch on why a lot of regular Republicans are concerned about Trump as the nominee, because the purpose of a political party is to elect like-minded people to public office. If you don't win, you don't get to govern. You don't get to make policy or implement policy. And the negatives that Trump has are the highest of anybody that's ever been the Republican frontrunner or the Democrat frontrunner for President of the United States in the history of polling. And that bothers people who think we can't afford a third term for Barack Obama, and that's exactly what we'll get with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And so the Republicans who are worried about electability look at that polling that you just discussed, and it concerns them.
Yeah, well, I looked it up, as a matter of fact, this morning, a couple of polls. His net negative is an astonishing -33. Gallup had it even higher, close to -40, which, as you point out, is historic. You know, it sounds to me from your comments that you don't think Donald Trump can win in November against Hillary Clinton. Is that your view?
I actually don't think that. I was going to add that the second most negative image of a person to be a front runner for President of the United States is Hillary Clinton. And her numbers are about 56% of Americans disapprove of her, have a negative opinion of her. That's incredibly high. Trump's are slightly higher. But I think Trump has a lot more room for growth. I thought what he did yesterday was a good start in talking seriously about substantive policy in terms of foreign policy as it was yesterday. I think we'll see more of that. And I think that'll give a lot of people more comfort with Trump. I hope so.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to vote for whoever our party nominates because I don't think our country can stand a third term of Obama.
All right.
I think whichever one is better than she, but don't underestimate the nominee that we will have.
Yeah, her net negative, by the way, is -21. So you're right. That's pretty amazing as well. We were talking in our morning meeting. I want to run this by you about the following kind of scenario. If there's a brokered convention and some delegates say, well, we'll support you, Ted Cruz, but only if you dump Carly Fiorina. And, you know, Governor, there's a lot of time between now and Cleveland, nearly 3 months, so a lot can happen. Does he run the risk, having picked her so early, that he might later find himself in a fix and have to dump her?
Well, first of all, Greg, there won't be a brokered convention. There might be an open convention or a contested convention, but there's nobody to broker a convention. There's not some group of wise men and back in some smoke-filled room anymore, maybe 50 or 100 years ago, but that just doesn't exist anymore. But we could have an open convention if Trump doesn't get to 1237. Now, Trump helped himself a lot Tuesday and the week before in New York in improving his odds of getting to 1,237, which, of course, is an absolute majority, and you have to get a majority of the delegates to win. If the West Coast states vote similarly to New York, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeastern states, and they often do in general elections, then Trump's got a real chance to get 1237. But we'll see.
All right. Well, they may not smoke in back rooms anymore, Governor, but there's a lot of horse trading that goes on in a contested convention. Governor Haley Barbour, good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.